Universal are bringing back the holiday tour. We have icon backstories and the official listeners HHN house rankings for 2021. This is episode 480 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back. As always, so glad to have you back here, because why not? But this voice is not alone. Joining me, I have Lee.
Hello, everyone.
I have Tracy.
Hello.
And here in spirit is Michelle.
Yeah, apparently family comes first. Apparently, she's been very absent over the last few months, so we've let her have the 2 weeks off. Bless her.
Yeah. She's spending 2 weeks with her family, then back to the fast family here.
Yeah, celebrating the first, as we record, the first day of British travel back to the United States. Sam Naj,
Jammy get
you.
I saw that. Yeah. I bet you like a little tear dropped inside.
Oh no, it's worse. We have a group chat with Sam and us and Kieran, so yeah, we've heard it all for the week. He's been winding me up for about the last 4 days about it. He's like, when's Hot Butterbeer again?
Get, spammed with pictures.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Well, Kieran asked for it, so I'm sure we will do. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on, actually. We may even invite him on in 2 weeks' time. I think get a perspective of somebody, for all our Brit listeners, of seeing how that goes and going to the parks and all the rest of it.
Was that the first flight from?
No, I think he was the second. Because I think there was two. One went to 8:15 and his was the next one. So
yeah, there was the ribbon there. He was the first person. He broke through the ribbon. He's like, let's go.
I don't know whether I would be happy being among that first bunch to venture across the pond.
Right, it's going to be exactly the same.
But it's not going to be exactly the same, because this is the first batch of passengers they've had visit the US from the UK, and getting COVID passports or whatever, all that, getting that down pat.
I know, but I'm sure these early days and weeks, there's going to be lots of help and support there. So
yeah. Plus the way testing and everything is here, I'm sure if you're missing something, you can do a rapid test there or get vaccinated on site and a high five and you're good to go.
Okay. And some anal probing.
Yeah. I mean, that's standard, but yeah.
Of course. That's the only reason why I come.
Let's kick things off with some little things with Seth.
Hi, this is Seth Kabursky, author of The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando, and I'm back with a huge list of little things that are new for November of 2021. We'll start out in City Walk, where demolition permits were recently filed for 2 locations within the City Walk complex. The permits did not specify exactly which locations would be demolished, but rumors are strong that the Groove and or Red Coconut Club are on their way out. In other City Walk construction news, I recently mentioned that Quiet Flight was undergoing a refurbishment to its exterior, but that the surfboard photo op was still available. Well, as of my last visit, the surfboard is behind construction walls. Hopefully it is just getting cleaned up and refreshed, and we'll be back for you to hang 10 on in the near future.
A lot of dirty feet on that.
Heading inside the theme parks, Universal has wasted no time saying goodbye to Halloween and hello to Christmas. I visited the park just a day or two after Halloween Horror Nights ended for the year, and while there were still some signage and scare zone staging still up in the streets, we've already got Christmas decor up in the Hollywood area, as well as both Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade. If you still aren't quite over Halloween Horror Nights, stop by the All Hallows store in Islands of Adventure's Lost Continent. It is still open at this recording, with much Halloween Horror Nights merchandise available for 50% off. And rather than closing down, I'm told that store will be converted into a spooky Christmas store and will remain open at least through the end of the year.
Krampus.
On the other hand, if you are already over Halloween and ready to get on with the Christmas season, Stop by the Park Plaza Holiday Store inside Universal Studios Florida and fill out an application to have a caricature of yourself added to Earl the Squirrel's Wall of Fame, which will be inside the Holiday Tribute Store opening soon. It costs $125, and there are 125 total slots available. You'll get to have your picture displayed during the event, and then it will be sent to you to keep afterwards. You also might want to stop by the Port of Entry Christmas store in Islands of Adventure to pick up some Harry Potter Christmas merchandise, which is currently on discount. And finally, starting on November 13th, Universal Orlando annual pass holders can pick up an exclusive holiday shirt. Of course, you'll have to pay for that one. It isn't free, unlike the Twister buttons, which all annual pass holders can grab at either the Pass Holder Lounge or the store in Toon Lagoon this month. Moving on from the upcoming holidays, I have a few food updates around the theme parks. If you're a fan of caramel and cheese popcorn, you'll be happy to know that the popcorn stand at the front entrance of Universal Studios Florida is finally reopening. And if you are a fan of the Isla Nublar IPA beer that was exclusively available at the Watering Hole in Jurassic Park, you will be happy to know that it is now also served at the Bone Chillin' and Natural Selection stands in that land. Speaking of Jurassic Park, the back half of Camp Jurassic, including all of the net climbs, continues to be closed and should remain that way until December. However, Pteranodon Flyers and the lava caves are available for guests' enjoyment at this time. And if you'd like to get an up-close look at some of the fascinating features of the Jurassic World Velocicoaster queue, try asking the team members at the ride's front entrance for a facilities tour. This is a free VIP tour that can be taken when staffing is available and lets you get a look at the Mosasaurus roll, the animatronic dinosaurs in the queue, and some of the fascinating Jurassic Easter eggs.
Cool.
Over in Universal Studios Florida, be aware that Fast and the Furious will be going down for a brief refurbishment.
Ooh.
That's from November 8th through November 11th. So you won't be able to ride a party bus during those days if you visit. In addition, Volcano Bay was closed entirely due to the cold weather on November 6th. Keep an eye on the weather report if you are planning on visiting the park, because when the weather dips down into the 60s, the park is likely to be closed. Over at the Portofino Bay Hotel, I'm pleased to report that Harbor Nights will be returning on November 26th. These quarterly events were suspended throughout the coronavirus pandemic, but they're back now, and you can get food, drinks, dancing, music, all out under the stars on the Portofino's lovely plaza. It's kind of like attending the wedding for someone that you don't know and don't have to bring a present for.
Awesome.
I've been to them before and highly recommend them for a romantic date evening. So head on over to Lowe's website for ticket information.
That's why Michelle stays there.
Speaking of tickets, Florida and Georgia residents right now can get buy one day, get a second day free tickets to Universal Orlando. You have to purchase them by mid-December and use the second day by the 4th of February. But you'll be getting a 2-day ticket for the price of 1 day, and you can even add on Volcano Bay for just $25 more.
Okay.
If you're interested in this offer, head to a Wendy's restaurant in Florida or Georgia, order a soft drink, and look for the promotion code on the cup. And finally, fans of both Universal Orlando and the classic Nickelodeon TV show Legends of the Hidden Temple might want to tune in this week to the CW's reboot of that show. Josh Siniscalco, who is best known as the Usher from Halloween Horror Nights and also one of the hosts at Universal's Horror Makeup Show, competed on Legends of the Hidden Temple as a child and is now back on the show as an adult. His episode aired this Sunday, And if you head over to the CW website, you should be able to see it.
Awesome.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this time. I'll be back in another couple of weeks, but until then, you can find me at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram or at the UG Series on Twitter. And until then, I'm Seth Kapersky from the Unofficial Guides, keeping an eye on all those little things at Universal Orlando for you.
Whew.
Lot of things.
Yeah. So it looks like what he said 2 weeks ago about the clubs going.
Yeah.
Is getting stronger and stronger, and I hope that it is an escape room and that Saturday Night Live thing.
Awesome.
I would love a comedy club
It would
there.
be so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
An escape room would be brilliant because, like, let's be honest, who doesn't love an escape room? I mean, we've never done one. I'm desperate to do one as well, and what would be better than a Universal themed one?
Fast and Furious.
I mean, they could theme it to areas like the park or a ride
you
or
could have
anything.
different rooms with different themes. It would be awesome because they don't necessarily need to be IP based. You could do a Halloween Horror Nights one.
I mean, it's literally endless possibilities with all the content that they have to work with.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool.
That AP shirt. Has anyone seen that AP shirt, by the way? The holidays one. It's awesome.
I don't know.
It's just a black t-shirt with Earl the Squirrel. Earl the Squirrel.
Earl the Squirrel?
That's how they pronounce it, isn't it? You Americans.
Earl the Squirrel.
Earl the Squirrel.
Earl the Squirrel. It doesn't work as well.
Errol the Squirrel.
What's up with this holiday caricature thing? Is that like an online thing too? Because I'd love to send my picture in.
So they've obviously had such a massive response from the Halloween Horror Nights one that they did this year. You know, with the pictures in the tribute store.
Yeah, they found a cash cow.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And now they're going to double down on it and do. See, the caricature thing, I don't think's as cool. I wonder if Andrew's doing them.
I'm a bit
It's
wary
cool.
of caricatures because
I would just send in my picture of the bartender that Chris Screws drew, and then just have them caricature
That would be awesome.
Or just put a hat on me. That's it.
Yeah, a Christmas hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That would be cool.
think it's an in-person thing only.
Yeah. So that'll be sold out in one day.
Less than one day, I would have thought.
Yeah. All the vloggers are there like day one.
Of course.
Yep, sign me up.
Yeah, Tim Tracker will be there. Jackie Sue What's-Her-Face will be there, and Nate will be there. Yeah, they'll all be gone.
Oh, I'll just bring in my own picture, put it up temporarily.
yeah.
So another tour we need to do. There's more tours at that park now. That Velocicoaster one sounds awesome.
Yes, I want to do that
for definite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder with so they said like you get to see the Mosasaurus for a while. So I'm assuming you go behind a gate that you can't go through normally.
And maybe
you'd be closer to it, right?
Possibly.
I'm guessing.
Like right up close and personal with it.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they do these at Universal because they don't have to. It's something that you could add as, I'm not giving you, we say this all the time, like, don't give them ideas. But the fact that they do them for free and it's not part of like a VIP tour is awesome.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these things are part of the VIP tour, but you can also do them for free.
Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
There's about...
Yeah, it is.
6 or 7 now because there's one at Fallon, there's one at, obviously not at the moment, or there won't be at a moment in Mummy. There's the one at Velocicoaster. There's
It used to be the Forest tour.
Yeah, the immigration tour. I'm sure there's another one somewhere as well. There's like a really random place that does one where you're like, okay, that doesn't really make sense, but okay. Yeah.
Either way.
I think.
No. But yeah, there's tons. Again, Seth comes on here every 2 weeks and there's always a ton of stuff.
There is.
They're always doing new things or bringing new things in or updating things or whatever. It's... I can't wait to get back.
Caramel and cheese popcorn.
Yes. Now, I'm assuming they're two separate things. I was going to bring this up,
so.
Is it caramel cheese or is it caramel?
No, I've never seen caramel cheese popcorn.
I think I've only ever bought popcorn in the parks once and it wasn't for me.
I don't like popcorn. So.
Yeah, try kettle corn. It's better.
I don't like corn. Well, I like corn,
then you'll hate
but I don't like any popped corn.
We found out last week she doesn't like an awful lot. Oh, but
that is not true. It's just everybody seems to use all the ingredients I don't like.
That reminds me, we have an addendum to last week's show. I'd actually completely forgotten about, but someone brought it to my attention again.
Whose birthday did you forget?
No, it's not. We did the Drinks of Islands of Adventure last week.
Ah, yes.
bottled pumpkin juice is no longer a thing and hasn't been for about 6 months. They had some sort of licensing issue with the company that did it, and you can't buy it in a bottle anymore. And I did know that, and I completely forgot when I put that list together. So
I'm very upset about
me
this.
too.
I'd obviously blocked it from memory because I was so traumatized.
Let's see how much it's going for on eBay. See one here for $40.
Really?
Oh, come on, man. The second something's not available.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here $50. That's your going price.
Wow. Is that just the bottle, or is that bottle with pumpkin juice in it?
Empty bottle.
Serious?
But this one's from Universal Studios Japan.
Okay.
So let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are USJ, so...
But yeah, you can't buy it in the bottle anymore. It's only available on draft.
And it's not the same.
No,
It's
it's
too
not.
thin. Disgusting. Get it sorted.
You heard it here. So carrying on from Seth's holiday news, we have more. Universal have announced that Mannheim Steamroller will once again be performing on the Music Plaza stage at this year's holidays at Universal Orlando. Lando, not O. You will be able to catch them on December 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th.
This is a big deal.
It is.
I was so excited when I
Yes.
saw this just because I am a creature of habit. And every year we do the same thing, which I love. And seeing Mannheim, love it. So glad they're back.
But it shows you things are getting back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because the parade's back, Mannheim Steamroller's back.
I mean, we said this before on like a couple shows back, where if they can do, what was it, Nightmare Fuel,
Yes.
they for sure can do this show. There's
Yeah.
no reason why they couldn't.
No.
You know, it'll be interesting to see, though, if they add more dates or if that's all they have them contracted out for.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Mannheim Steamroller is something that, Tracy, I know you're very excited to experience when we go out
really want
next
to
year.
see this.
So yay for Mannheim.
Yeah.
But sad news, which hopefully will be back for next year. Otherwise, yes, there will be. Tracy will be having words.
I'll be having more than words.
But
beatings.
Universal have said that the Grinch character breakfast will unfortunately not be coming back this year.
They've
But
run out of Who Beast.
But as I've said, we are hopeful that it'll return next year. So, because we're planning on having it as part of next year's Weekender. So,
Yes, we are.
yeah.
So, yes. It's not just sad news about the Grinch. It's devastating news about the Grinch for people like me.
Very true.
There is good news, apparently. I'm still not over the Grinch, but, you know, we'll go on. The holiday tour is returning this year. Starting from $69.99 plus tax per person. Guests can meet and greet with the Grinch and visit the hot cocoa bar at Circus McGurkus.
Yes.
Yes and no. See an after-hours showing of Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts Castle.
Yes.
Get reserved viewing area for holiday parade featuring Macy's.
Those viewing areas for the parades are generally not in amazing places,
No.
but okay.
Have a reserved seating area for the Grinchmas Hula Day Spectacular.
Awesome.
Actually, having the reserved areas, they may not be the best places, but if you have a kid that suddenly goes, I need to go to the bathroom now, and you then can't get a spot, you're guaranteed somewhere. So that's one good thing.
I think if you go back to Halloween Horror Nights at Marathon of Mayhem, that reserved area we had there was actually really good.
It really was, yes. You can also take part in an exclusive onstage holidays Q&A with the Who's.
Awesome. That's awesome, by the way.
That would be like herding cats.
That would be amazing.
That would be so funny. And finally, there's a meet and greet with Santa with one digital download. I assume that's a photograph.
Yeah.
To a group party.
This is cool. I've actually spoken to Michelle and think if this comes back next year,
This is awesome.
whether it's something we could add into the Weekender.
Like an add-on.
Yeah. Oh, no, just add, like we did Scare Actor Dining for the last one.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
it as
This-
part of the Weekender.
Because for that price, you get a lot.
You do.
It's not a bad price. And
No.
I'm not
No?
huge on these add-on things because they've done that before with like the reserved areas and the parades. And for me, it's not worth it. But the meet and greet with the Grinch alone, if that's some kind of priority pass and you don't have to wait that giant line,
Yep.
Yeah.
that $69 is worth it alone.
Look, just getting to see the projection show in Hogwarts Castle after hours,
After
not
hours,
having
yeah.
to fight through those crowds
Yeah.
to see, that is a huge deal. So it's worth
And
it.
the
for
Who's.
Yeah. Those three things alone make that price worth it.
Yeah.
And then drink your body weight in hot chocolate, plus Tracy's because she doesn't like it.
I don't like hot
Yeah.
chocolate.
She doesn't like anything I've told you.
I don't like you.
I mean, not many
There you
people
go.
do. To be
He is
fair.
not included in this package, Tracy, so it may be
God
for
for
you.
that.
I am the Grinch.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's because things aren't fully back to normal is why they've put this in there, or maybe it's a combination of the two. Things aren't fully back to normal because you can't have that private meet and greet with the Grinch because we're not doing the breakfast. But then because it was so popular last year, let's roll it out this year. We can make money on it because we've said it before. I don't think Universal do this anywhere near enough of having
Extras.
yeah, things that you can upcharge for. And I don't want them to upcharge everything, but they really don't upcharge anything.
Okay,
could keep
well,
this-
let's calm it down there, buddy.
They could keep this
Universal, don't
alongside.
listen to him.
Say that again,
They
sorry.
could keep this alongside the Grinch
Yeah.
breakfast as well, quite easily.
Yeah, I think people would do both.
I would.
Yeah.
It's Grinch.
It's
I'd do
that
anything
Q&As
Grinchy.
with the Who's, man. It would be amazing because those actors who play the Who's are...
They are who's. There are no actors.
All right, they're a blast.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, they are a lot of fun on the streets. I'm hoping they're going to be there this year again, but I don't know.
We
Look it
shall
up
see.
close
We
and
shall
personal.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. And finally, the popular holiday tree hunt will return to the resort on select dates from November 20th to January 1st, 2022.
I would like
It's
to
fine.
do that at some point.
Yeah. Normally we cover the scarecrow stock, but we didn't really this year. No one really mentioned much about it, but I know it went on. But they are a
They
pretty
didn't
cool
push
thing.
it as much this year.
No, I think
don't
I think it's because they wanted to push the event this year with it being the
Yeah.
30th and it being back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little extra in it.
It is.
I think is it the tree hunt? One of them you have to pay for, don't? Is it?
It's only a few bucks, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's not much, and then you get like a
No,
little
like,
ornament.
So for this year, for like the stock hunt, whatever you want to call it, you had to buy like a chocolate bar, and
Okay.
inside there was the map, and then that's how you
Alright.
did it.
That's cool.
Ah.
Yeah,
That's how you get a bar of chocolate. That's all right.
exactly.
Cool.
Keep you wired throughout the hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool because, like we said before, it makes you see potentially. I know it's stores because that's where they put them on, but you might see things that you haven't seen before. Stores you've never necessarily been in before
Yeah.
because it's not your thing. And go, watching this is pretty cool.
Plus, it also like another thing for us because we've done it before, and normally we don't take long trips, but for those people taking long trips, it goes back to having something new and different to do.
Yes.
And if you're there for a long week, trip, this is a perfect thing to do. You don't have
Yeah.
to do it in one day.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You can kind of go around, and it still keeps the everything fresh and exciting because it's something that hasn't been there for a whole year. And now it's back.
Yeah. It's funny you talk about that, and it's like one of those things that we don't get over that often. But I know from a lot of people in the Producers Club who go, maybe once a year or twice a year, you end up becoming creatures of habit. You end
Yeah.
up going to those restaurants that you always go to, and you end up doing the same things every time because it's your comfort zone. And then you realize when you take a step back that we've never eaten there or we've never done that. Why have we never been
Yeah.
there? Why have we never done that? And because you don't go that often, you want to make sure that you do the things that you really want to do, but then you end up missing out on things that you haven't done before. I know Rob
Yeah.
Steve, it's come from Rob Steve, was saying that we've realised all these restaurants that we've never been in, and now we decided that we're going to really branch out and try and eat at places we haven't
Yeah.
eaten at before. Tracy and I have said the same for
Yeah.
when we come
We
over
do.
next year, because you just tend to gravitate towards the same places all the time.
I think it's one of those like double-edged swords because the reason why, at least for me, right, that I gravitate towards those same places and things and items is it just takes me back to here. I'm here. This is where I'm at. I love being here. And this is what I did last time and I'm doing it again. I love it again. But you do miss out on some cool new things that you would
absolutely.
have never tried before. So you got to, every time you go, just venture out a little bit more and a little
that's
bit more.
perfect. Yeah.
Well, I've said every other meal should be
Somewhere you've never
somewhere
been.
new.
Yeah.
And then you're guaranteed having your favourite places in there and some hopefully new favourites as well.
Because I think it comes from that thing as well as you don't want to go. So it's like the Today Cafe. I can't not go to the Today Cafe because who knows if we don't go, that might be your last, something might happen. You might never get back to Universal again. You
Well,
go,
we all thought
and
that
I missed
recently."
out on going to the Today Cafe that day.
Yeah.
It's, Yeah.
So, in other words, every time I pass, I have to eat a matcha green tea puff.
I mean, not just a
Noted.
matcha green tea puff, no. But
And a sandwich and a cup of coffee. Noted. I can do that every
Fair
time
enough.
I pass. No bother.
That's your mission.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of food, Tracy, are you hungry?
Always. Especially for
You want
cake.
cake?
Yeah.
You like cake, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us who's going to send us some cake this time.
Oh, well, we have a right motley crew here, actually. We are going to start off with some birthday twins. On the 9th of November, we have the lovely Natalie Horath's birthday. Happy birthday, Natalie.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And we also have the wonderful Sonia Miranda's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Feliz cumpleaños, Sonia.
And the following day, on the 10th, we have the adorable Nikki Montoya's birthday. Happy birthday, Nikki.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And the following days, well, one after the other. On the 11th, we have the fabulous Brooke Warner's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Brooke!
Happy birthday.
And then finally, on the 19th of November, we have one of our favourite weirdos.
One of the Chris's.
One of the
There's
many
many
Chris's.
Chris's.
We're collecting a lot of Chris's. It is Rookie himself. It is Chris Rook's birthday. Happy birthday,
buddy.
Rookie.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Yes. See, that's when we can actually have cake in person.
We
I
could,
I
yeah.
think we should do that.
We haven't seen him for quite a while, actually.
haven't.
We haven't. It's been
Oh,
far too long.
I am feeling an ice cream at Alonso's Harbour Bar.
So yeah,
Yes.
Send me some.
Yeah.
if you want your birthday read out on the show, like these lovely people, you can, of course, join the Producers Club. Our doors are always open. You get your birthday read out on the show. We have
Yes,
an
you do.
awesome Facebook group, which this year has really ramped up. The posting that's going on in there is great. I'm really enjoying interacting with everyone. It's so much fun. I'm sure I'm going to ban Sam after this week because he's just going to be spamming it with pictures of Universal. But yeah, we got giveaways. As Chris has said, the last 2 weeks we've actually just had the Beetlejuice giveaway. So there's 3 people as we are recording this who all got the answer right for the top and
Which
bottom.
I am shocked. I am completely shocked that 3 people actually guessed it, but they did.
Did the guess?
Well, they'd have to because only I know the official answer.
I know, but you are wearing some nice new trainers now, Lee.
I didn't give anybody any hints. I did not give anybody any
I believe you
hints.
because he doesn't give me anything either.
Plus, the merch is ready to go out. Andrea's got that. She's getting ready to send the merch out for this year. So everything's going on. And if you want to join, you want to find out how to join, just email us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Once again, that is a double P in the middle, uuopproducers@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come and
if,
join the-
If it's your first time
Not a cult.
joining a cult, we'll be
Not a
glad
cult.
to give you not a cult.
Not
my
a cult.
bad. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
We got some welcome punch in the back and it's a lot of fun.
You're going to find out how culty it is in the next section of this show.
Actually, very true.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a quick break to keep the lights on here. We'll be right back.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffler Trees in Zeus Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than ones and portions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse & Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs. Earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse & Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rate customized service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a non-obligation quote request or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
All right. Lights are still on. Good. Awesome. Welcome back, everybody. Well, next we have a Rate My Crepe. Is this from the same Jillian that we all know?
Shall we see?
God's Pocket.
Hey guys, it's Jill. Now, I know what you guys are all thinking. Why hasn't Jill sent in another Rank My Crepe? Or Rate My... You know what? You know what I'm talking about. Well, wait no longer. Today, I'm trying the cookies and cream crepe. and will be rating it on my proprietary scale of to oh hell yeah. So I'm about to give it a bite. It's very messy. It's very good. I feel like it's mostly whipped cream. I hope that some more of the kind of custardy cream is towards the bottom. But the crepe is very good. And I got it in record time today because it's pouring down rain. Yeah. The actual cookies and cream filling is much better than just plain whipped cream with chocolate drizzled on top with cookie crumbles. Okay, so for my official ranking, I'm going to put the pear creme brulee at the top and number 1. Cookies and cream on second. Okay, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Lee. I'm not trying to get a lifetime ban from the podcast. But for real, I'm going to give the cookies and cream crepe a 4 out of 5. That's my official ranking. All right, you guys. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Okay, Lee, you need to cut that clip and make it a soundbite for every time we explain how to send in a Rate My Crepe.
Yes.
That's what we need to do going forward.
To oh hell yeah.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
she said that very there was something going on there.
Suggestively.
And that's
Yes. Did we
It is
expect
Rate
anything
My
less?
Crepe.
No. Everyone seems that's the one that's had the most votes so far. The most one that people have tried.
Yeah.
And so
The
we
cookies
need
and cream?
Yeah, people need to try some of the other ones because Gillian's was actually the last one we've had. We have no more.
Go out and eat crepes, people.
So people, please, we need your Rate My Crepes. So to do it, what you need to do is take your phone, go to the parks, try any of the crepes or all of the crepes, any of them, right? It doesn't matter whether you've won 1 or 2, eat them and then pull your phone out and rate them from 1 to 5, 1 being...
All right, you don't have to do the faces as
That
well.
was really good.
to 5 being, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, again, you didn't have to do the face, Lee.
Oh, man.
And then send them into us, preferably in the park. I love hearing the park noises because it gives us a whole section to be able to go, why is Mana playing in the background?
I would love to, like, somebody just, like, look over just going, oh, hell yeah.
Well, like when Harry met Sally and Gillian sat in the corner eating her crepe. I'll have what she's having.
I find it hilarious that you referenced that movie.
I've never even seen it. I only know that clip. But yes, that email address is podcast@uuopodcast.com. So please get them in, people.
Yes.
Yes. Rate them. All right. Moving along. So this is going to be fun. Like, very fun. We asked our listeners to come up with backstories for the icons that listener Chris Screws came up with for each of the 4 UUOP hosts. Now, just to recap that, we had Michelle's the agent. Tracy was the author. I was the bartender. And Lee was the host.
Of course.
Now, we all picked our favorite backstory for our icon and a collective story. Here's Michelle reading hers, which is The Agent by Chris Azell.
February 2018, The Agent. The keyboard clacked under Michelle's fingers as she was sending out another vacation quote. The winter months were quieter, but as the travel company had finally crossed the 1-year mark and was still operating, she felt like the first big hurdle had been cleared, and the messages and family vacation pictures from satisfied customers had her feeling that she had made the right choice to start her own company with Robin. A chime let her know that she had a new email and saw that it was from the Peterson family that had taken a trip to South Florida. She opened the email. "Thank you for booking us an amazing vacation. We loved our time in the Keys, and it was a trip that we'll never forget." John Peterson's satisfaction washed over her as she basked in the great trip report, and she was about to close the email when she saw that there was an attachment in the message titled, "Hanging Out with Family." She clicked on the picture. The satisfied smile disappeared in an instant as the image of the Petersons and their children dangling from a tree by a set of rough ropes flashed on her screen, the pale and sun-bloated skin causing her stomach to turn. "Oh my God, I gotta call the police." A chat bubble suddenly popped up on her screen. "I wouldn't do that if I were you. You might not understand my art, but I won't let you interfere with it. As a matter of fact, you will be instrumental in my work. My muse, you might say." A chill washed over her as the blinking cursor waited expectantly for her reply. This person had heard her say she was going to call the cops, which meant she was being watched. She slowly reached forward towards the keyboard. "Who are you?" My name is Paolo Ravensky, and you've just seen the poster for my latest film. Such a passionate response. I do so love to see my audience's live reaction. You said not to call the cops. Besides the fact that you are watching me, why shouldn't I report your crimes? The only crime is a director without actors for his masterpiece. I'm not picky on who my actors are, as long as you send them whenever I need them for my next film. They could be one of your customers or one of these people, but I get the feeling you might have a preference in this matter. A hyperlink appeared under the latest message, and though her mind was shrieking not to open it, she had to know. As she clicked the link, a second screen popped up with a live feed video. Her whole body started shaking as she saw the image. Another message popping up finally tore her eyes from the feed. You have such a beautiful family, very photogenic. Some might say they have faces meant for the big screen. Please don't hurt them. What do I have to do? Just keep doing what you are doing and they'll be fine. I'm getting ready to film a new project in Belmapim, but my previous actors didn't make the cut. Consider this an open casting call. Well, looks like business calls you away. Don't disappoint me. The ringing phone caused her to jump. She looked back at the screen to see that all the messages had disappeared, and the window with the video of her napping children was suddenly blank. The phone rang a second time. She steeled her nerves and answered. Mouse and Muggle Travel, this is Michelle. Oh, Miss Cooper, what can I do for you? I'm so sorry. Yes, the weather this time of year in Florida can be totally unpredictable. We can cancel that trip for you. Do I know of somewhere warmer? Michelle looked at the pictures of her family on her desk for a long moment before answering. I hear Belize is beautiful this time of year. A deep rumbling laughter emanated from the computer speakers before the screen went dark.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that.
Awesome.
Next up, we have Tracy. Mm-hmm. Tracy, want to take it away?
Yeah. This is the author by Chris Rook. Interesting. Yeah, I just want to preempt this with, oh my God, this was so difficult.
Oh, it was.
I spent hours going backwards and forwards because the quality of these was absolutely stellar.
And I will say for the record that when I gave everyone their stories, so Chris, Michelle and Tracy, they didn't know who wrote them. They went purely on the work itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hated every minute. Anyway, the author by Chris Rook.
Tracy, you'll never believe what I've just heard.
All right, Lee, keep your hair on. What's happened?
You know Chantel with that little yappy dog, the one that always craps on the path outside? Well, she's only gone and popped her clogs.
No way. How? What happened?
Well, I only just heard about it at the shop, but apparently she was on the top deck of the bus. The driver was new, took the wrong route, didn't know about the lower bridge, and now, let's just say the bus is an open top. The bridge took most of the top deck off, and most of Chantel with it for that matter.
Jesus.
Are you okay? You've gone white as a sheet.
Lee, fetch me my new ledger, will you?
Okay. You don't look good, Tracy. Do you want anything?
Just the damn book. I can't believe it.
Okay, you're making me worried. I've got the book. Here you go.
No. You open it. On the first page, there's a short story I wrote in there.
Oh, on the bus?
Look, it's not my finest title, but that's the one. Just read it, will you? It was about Chantel, and you've just described exactly what I wrote. No, I swear. Read it. I'm not lying.
Well, I'll be... It really is. What a coincidence.
I hope so. I'm not sure. Do you remember when I bought it? We got it from that creepy little second-hand shop in town, the one we'd never seen before. What I didn't tell you is when the man put it in the bag for me, he said there's nothing more powerful than a woman with a book, that I should be careful what I put in those pages because words are truth. I never told you about it at the time because I thought it was just a little cool, spooky thing. He thought Sid fit in with the vibe of the shop. But what if he's right? What if everything and everyone I write about in the book happens?
Oh, give over. You're not bloody Death Note. Talk about derivative.
Look, I hear what you're saying, but love, that's not the only short story I wrote that day. The second one was about a nuclear terrorist attack in Berlin and the city being levelled by a nuclear explosion. Put the news on.
Don't worry, it'll be fine, I'm sure. Oh no. Hell's bells. It can't be true. It's just a coincidence. It can't.
Oh God, Lee, what have I done?
It's not your fault, Tracy. How the hell would you know? Tracy, what's wrong?
Lee. Oh, please no. My last story. It was about demonic possession. I had this really cool idea of writing it the first person. That was a bit of a gimmick that no one had done before. I wrote it about me, Lee. I wrote it about me.
Tracy, it'll be fine. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
I'm not.
You're not what?
I'm not Tracy. Not really. Not any longer.
Wait, what's going on? Why are you looking at me like that, Tracy?
I'm finally free. Xandazul is here. I have waited and waited, but now, after an eternity in the darkness, I am here to claim this world as mine. In this mortal form, I can pass myself off as just another one of you, clothed apes. When I am so much more. I can have the power of the hordes of the unholy behind me, and with this book I can write my own future. Empires will fall. Cities will burn. Millions will die. With a stroke of my pen, I can slay the unbelievers, or make them raise temples in my honour. I am the writer of my own future, and I am the author of this realm's fate. The power, it's unlimited.
Jesus. Tracy, what have you done?
Silence, cretin.
That sounds more like the wife I know and love. Wait, what are you writing?
My first act. I've just written your future. I hope you enjoy hell. Give them my regards.
No! We interrupt this broadcast to go live to our Northeast correspondent. Eric, can you hear us? Can you tell us what's happening?
This is Eric Sidebottom reporting from just outside Middlesbrough, where I can't believe what I'm seeing. It appears that there is an army of what I can only describe as creatures. They are in their thousands, maybe tens of thousands. They're moving silently across the countryside towards the city. Wait. I can see them more clearly now at the front. It looks like leading them, it's a woman. Just a woman with a book, and she's smiling?
That was so much fun.
That was fun. We haven't done armchair theatre for a while. I'm planning on doing these.
That was spontaneous as well.
As proper armchair theatre episodes for the Producers Club at some point. I'll do like sound effects and stuff, but that was really good.
That was fun.
I haven't read these stories either, to be fair, so I've heard that. I'm hearing that for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I just saw mine.
So good.
I knew from this one and another one, and I'll find out later from you who the others were from, obviously. But I know that two of the ones that were sent in are people that know me very well.
Yes.
Very well. So
that was so good.
Oh, that was brilliant. Thank you, Chris. Love it.
Okie dokie.
Cool. That was fun. Yeah. By the way, when I was, so like you said, this was very difficult to pick because there were some really cool stories, but we will hear more about those at another time. But during when I was reading each story, just to kind of get more into the mood, I also played the theme music that was being made. I don't know if I can mention that.
Yes, because it'll be playing behind each of our stories as we're recording. Now people will hear.
So I would play the music while reading the story, and it kind of fit well.
Okay.
Okay. We should have done that.
Big shout out to Jeff Royds, by the way, at Burnt Ends. He created icon music for the four of us.
So cool.
So behind us reading these stories, the music you will hear is each of the icons' music that he created.
Yes. Cool. So the next one, I guess, Lee, do you want to take the other character in this one?
Okay.
Cool. So this is the bartender. And again, just so happened to be by Chris Azell. Did not know this. Was not picked like that. It's just the story that I went with. Mid-2020, the bartender. I can't believe I actually drove out here. I must be crazy. Chris pulled into the empty parking lot of Sapphire Falls and parked his car near the entrance. He'd received an email a week ago saying that he was being invited to an exclusive tasting at Strongwater Tavern after all his comments on the podcast praising the rum bar, but that he had to keep it quiet due to COVID restrictions. Either no one else was here yet, or the hotel was still closed, and he'd been played. He decided to at least try the front door after driving all the way out there, and to his surprise, even though all the lobby lights were off, the door was open, and a dim light spilled out from the bar. Well, this isn't creepy at all. As he entered the bar, all the chairs except for one were still flipped upside down, and the only lights were from the backsplash of the bar, and the light creeping out from the kitchen. Taking the seat at the bar, he couldn't but mutter, "Man, where is everyone else?" A gravelly voice answered from the kitchen.
I told you this was an exclusive tasting, didn't I?
The door to the kitchen swung open and light flooded out, casting a silhouette around a tall figure with face paint and a long red duster jacket. Holy crap! Hell yeah, Jack! What are you doing here?
Special treat, kid. You've done us a lot of favors, and now we've decided to bring you to the table. Let's get this party started.
It was nothing but top shelf rum that flowed, and after he'd lost track of the pours, he and Jack sat sipping a glass at the bar together.
Worth the trip out here, Chris?
Heck yeah, I've needed a trip like this to clear my head. I've had a lot to think about, and a night out was exactly what I needed.
Well, no better person to listen than the man pouring the drinks.
I've been wanting to propose to Alexa, but looking at the rings, wedding costs, and everything else in the midst of 2020, I'm not sure if it's the right time.
Spoilers, he already has. Is that all? We really called you out here for your help, but I think we can help each other here. We're getting ready for a big event and we're getting complaints that our drinks are just juice with a drop of alcohol. I've heard about your legendary rum punch and thought you might be the person to revamp our drink menu. You help us with that, and we'll pull Amanda's engagement ring from the storage the next time I clean out the blender. We'll cover the ring as your fee. So do we have a deal?
Are you serious? Hell yeah, I'd love to help.
Great. Jan, get this man whatever he needs. You're up, kid.
Wait, now? The smile melted from Jack's face.
Yes, now, let's go. I had Jan bring everything over from Finnegan's already, so time is wasting.
Jan emerged from the kitchen with a box full of ingredients, and Chris got to work. With all the different rums at his disposal, and recently having tried most of them, he crafted a premium version of his punch that put previous iterations to shame. He poured out a glass and slid it across the bar. Jack took a sip and sighed.
You really nailed it, and with what we can charge for your exclusive drinks at the event made with premium ingredients, we'll make a killing. Feels like it's missing something though. Jan, I think we need a garnish.
She stepped up and took a sip from the glass.
Maybe the garnish from the Dirty Sanchez?
No, the flavours won't mix and it'll taste like crap. How about the floater from the Michael Bublé?
That could work. 1 finger or 2?
1 should be fine.
Chris watched this back and forth, wondering how he'd missed those drinks, and expecting Jan to pull out a bottle to layer a different alcohol on top of his punch. But instead, she just laid her hands on top of the bar as Jack pulled out a knife and cut through Jan's pinky. The spray of blood and snapping of bone causing bile to rise in his throat. Jack dropped the finger into the glass and took another sip.
Ah, perfect. Chris, get off the floor. Don't worry, I'll have the caretaker sew the finger back on later. All right, on the next drink.
Chris couldn't believe what he was seeing and hearing. No way, I'm out of here. I wouldn't have agreed to this if I knew you were insane like this. Jesus. He leaned over to grab his coat, but Jack grabbed him by the throat and slowly lifted him off the ground.
Not so fast, kid. We had ourselves a verbal contract, and if you think you and your soon-to-be fiancé can escape breaking that contract without repercussions, then, well, you don't know Jack.
Turned a bit Jack Sparrow at the end.
Wait until we do these properly, like having read them. That was really good.
That was
one,
so good.
It's spot on. Basically, I would have gone to an abandoned Sapphire Falls to do this.
Okay, Chris, do you want to play Kieran in this one? Tracy, you'll have to take Chris Rook.
Okay,
that's all I'll say.
I can do Kieran.
So this is mine, Thehorst by Chris Rook. Same style he did the other one. He kind of does it as a script rather than a story. So, and I like this one a lot. This one, all the ones we got in were great. This one was just, you'll understand because it goes off the cult that we talked about at the Producers Club, so it works really well. Anyway, so thanks for doing the podcast, Kieran. It means a lot.
No worries, Lee. I'm a bit nervous, has to be said, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, there's nothing to be nervous about, mate. I'll be here with you, and if you need anything, just give me the nod.
Nay, brother, will do. Where are the rest of the hosts then? You never said.
Ha! Just me and you tonight, mate. Hope that's okay. Hey, comfy? Tea all right? Not too strong?
Perfect, mate. Just how I like it. Feels like ages since we chatted. I wasn't sure if you'd fallen out with me after I left the Producers Club.
Nah, it's all good, mate. All good. Right, I've just got to get our last few bits and bobs done, and then we can get started.
You do what you need to do, mate. Love your house, by the way. But what's with all the plastic coverings? Reminds me of my Nana's house in the 70s.
A cheeky bugger. Well, you know what Tracy's like, just trying to keep everything spotless. Right, I think we're about ready. You happy to get started?
Why, aye, mate. Let's do it.
Okay, counting down to recording. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special Producers Club episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I am your host.
Wait up, Lee. Hold up. I told you I'm not in the producers club anymore. Are you sure I should be on this show now?
Oh, it's fine. Apologies for that, everyone. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I'm your host, Lee Malaby, and also joining me as a special host today is ex-Producers Club member, Kieran. Say hi, Kieran.
Hello, everybody.
So today's show is all about the Producers Club. Hashtag not a cult. Now, normally we'd start the show off by asking a few questions of our guest hosts, and our club members have been sending them in all week, but in reality, they only had one question for you, Kieran. Why did you leave the Producers Club?
Look, guys, don't take this the wrong way, but it just wasn't for me. It started out as fun, but some of you know who you are, took the whole cult thing just a bit too far for me. Look, I'm all for the banter and that, but it got daft. Talking about meetups and rituals and the like, bar me. I just want to talk all things Universal, not worship Lee and the others. No offense, mate.
Oh, none taken.
At the end of the day, it's only a podcast.
Are you okay, mate? You're not looking so good.
Yeah, fine. I just had a bit of a wobble for some reason. I'm sure it'll be fine.
So, there you have it, folks. Kieran left the Producers Club because you're all a bit weird and you've gone a bit culty. Oh, and apparently I'm your ringleader. Sounds like my kind of club, to be honest. Hang on. Are you sure you're okay? You look like you're struggling.
Yeah, I think I need to have a quick breather, mate. I'm not feeling so clever.
Oh, it was the tea.
What? What are you on about?
Oh, it was the tea. It was drugged. In about a minute, you're not going to be able to move at all. Shortly after that, you won't even be able to talk. But, and this is the good bit, I think you like this, you will be able to feel everything.
Lee, mate, I don't understand. Get me a doctor, please.
Oh, I don't think so, buddy. Did you really think that you could just leave the Producers Club? No, mate. You can join, but you can never leave.
My tongue feels weird.
Oh, that'll be the drugs. Not long now. Hey, do you know what the word host means?
What? I don't see the relevance.
All right, Sean Connery, just answer the question.
Well, a host is just someone who runs the show, looks after guests. Lee, I cannot speak properly. I'm scared, Lee. Help me.
Oh, amazing. Sorry, Kieran, that's your vocal cords shutting down. It's just me talking now, buddy, which is just how I like it. You're right, of course. That is what a host is. But did you know that the word host comes from the Latin hostia, and that it has a completely different meaning? Hostia, you see, means sacrifice or victim. So, mate, when I said you were joining me as a host, I'm afraid I wasn't lying, because you're going to be both of those things. You see, our little cult doesn't like it when members try to leave, so a few of us got our heads together to see what we could do about it. In the end, we agreed it'd be a lot of fun if we had our own exclusive podcast, so this will be the first one, only available to a select few, which I'll send out to them via the dark web. I have a list of ex-members that we'll be working our way through, and then we're all going to be recording our thoughts for a brand new segment that we like to call Rate My Crepe. I know, it's not very original, but it was better than Rate the Dude Who Became Our Food. Ah, I can see the penny is finally dropping now. Was it the knife? You see, I'm afraid I'm now going to chop you into tiny little pieces, and I'm going to record myself doing it. Then I'm going to mail you out to my cult disciples, bit by bit. Call it a special Producers Club giveaway. They're all going to rate your flavour on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being meh and 5 being, oh hell yeah. For I am the host, but you, my friend, you are the sacrifice, and you are the first of many. Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special Producers Club episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I'm your host Lee, and joining me this week is Chris from Scarborough.
Hey up, Lee. Hey up, everyone.
I've honestly been dying to get my teeth into this one. Can we start off with getting to know you a bit?
Oh, wow.
So
this was great. This is a great backstory. I love this.
The thing
and
is...
how did he know about the other exclusive club we do?
Because he's a paid-up member. So good.
Wow. That, kids.
Playing into the Producers Club, the not a cult thing was perfect.
That was a really good one. I really enjoyed that.
That was so good.
Now, finally, being the writer among us, Tracy picked her favorite collective story, and that story comes from Marco Mazzarelli.
Yeah. See, a few people sent in ones that weren't a story per host, but they were just a story of encompassing all of this as the host.
which was cool.
Yeah.
To like see everybody like kind of piece together in there.
Well, Chris's elves
Who I'm
were
realising
separate.
he must have been my other person that knows me well.
But he also, so they're all separate stories. So the two you've heard of Chris's, but they also wrap into a larger story.
I need all of that now.
So anyway, Marco says, the story goes like this. For years, many wondered if the legend of the Malabys was in fact just that, a legend. A horror tale to tell around the campfire while enjoying some s'mores and laughs. You see, once a year, Lee Malaby would host these extravagant Gatsby-esque parties, differing in themes, costumes, designs and flair. The stories of these parties grew louder and louder. However, each party seemed to take a presumably sinister turn. Each gathering always seemed to have one guest attend, who never found their way out. Local law enforcement have investigated these occurrences, but have always come up empty-handed. Each time, a witness was questioned and called on to remember their night. Their details always seemed fuzzy, however, a narrative amongst all witnesses rang true. Each had said the last person they remember seeing was the bartender, Chris.
Chris was a renowned mixologist who traveled the world learning about the craft. However, in his travels, he noted he was always on the hunt for that special ingredient. No one thought of it in great detail, until speculations started to swarm after Chris was fired, stripped of all his licenses, and fled to a remote part of the Amazon jungle, never to be heard from again. Not only until recently when he resurfaced at Malaby Manor. You may be thinking, well, none of these seem all that bad. People go to parties, get too drunk, and do stupid things that sometimes result in them being hurt or missing. I too thought that at one point. Then I started connecting the dots between these real-life occurrences and a star-studded fiction writer, Tracy Malaby's books. Her horror novels always seemed to align with the type of parties Lee had thrown in the past, as if Tracy was laying out for us in great detail what happened to these missing people. A genius plan. Lee and Tracy, with the help of their longtime friend Chris, would throw these extravagant bashes and partake in the horrible incidents that would occur. Tracy would then take the real-life events and fictionalize them, which not only bolstered their popularity, but also helped fund whatever they were thinking to do next. In one story, a person is attacked by numerous animals, insects, and reptiles, eerily similar to the Amazon-themed party hosted by Lee just prior. Another about a missing newlywed couple mummified in the crypts of an old house, kind of like the Egyptian-themed party that came just before. And just to add to the pattern, Tracy's third work, and my personal favorite about a party turned cult, which depicted a human sacrifice, was strikingly similar to the details of Lee's latest party theme, The Occult.
I thought I was grasping at straws with all this. I posted my theories online of what I thought was going on for real inside these parties far too many times. As of late, it all seemed to die down for a bit. There were no new stories of any parties at Malaby Manor in years. However, just recently Tracy announced her new book, with little detail beside the title, The Best Guest Yet. This set off a couple of initial thoughts in my head. First and foremost, the parties were starting back up again, and it wouldn't be long until more people went missing. Second, why on earth did she spell guest with 2 S's? A month later it hit me. A package in the mail addressed to me attached a letter. Actually, it was an invitation from Lee himself. The letter read, Marco, we've read all your posts about us. As entertaining as they are, we assure you this is not the case. We'd like to invite you to our next party to prove it. This year we aren't announcing a theme until moments before. We'd love to keep you guessing at what's to come next. So please join us. Attached below are all your travel needs. Attached to the letter was an airline ticket. However, it was a private airline, one owned by Michelle, the agent, a distant family to the Malabys. I researched immediately after and found Michelle's airline only flies to one place and very rarely returns. I think they know that I'm onto them, but I need to finally put a stop to this once and for all. I write this last post as I finish packing my bags.
That's awesome. And it like
So
encompasses
good.
all of us in it together.
Yeah.
It's great.
So
I'm a little
cool.
mad though. Why don't I get an invite to this party, Lee? You guys are having these parties all this time?
Yeah, I was going to say thank you to everyone that submitted their stories. To keep it down, we've had to just pick our favourites and do them here. But I'm going to post them all on the blog.
Yeah.
So they will be there to read. That's over at uuopodcast.com. And then kind of like we've already impromptu done it tonight, I kind of plan on recording them all the same and like armchair theatre, but music and sound effects and that. So over the course of the next year, because that's going to be quite a big project, I think we might get into that. I'm quite excited about it because They're so good. I've had so much fun reading these out tonight. It's been
Standards
awesome.
of these stories have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's wild. I love them.
So good. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's now time to announce our official UUOP Listeners Halloween Horror Nights house rankings for this year's Halloween Horror Nights 30. Now, we asked our listeners to send in their rankings, each house from each house from 1 to 10, and then we collected the rankings and came up with the official listeners rankings, and here they are.
Yeah. So hang on, before we get it. So basically, if someone rated a house number 1, then it got 1 point. So the house with the least amount of points was number 1, and the house with the most amount of points was number 10. That's going to play into it when we end up with this list, because I'll tell you, the gap between 1 and 2 was huge.
And it's a weird gap, yes. But at number 10, we have Welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland.
As someone who likes the original stuff, that made me quite sad.
It made me very sad because that's not number 10, but it's the collective number 10.
Number 9 was Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, and to be fair, I kind of expected that to be lower down with it being there last year.
Mm-hmm. Number 8, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That saddens me because that was quite high on my height list.
Number 10. That's the real one. Coming in at number 7 is the Juice Man, Beetlejuice.
No.
Again, I think it's because it suffered from the fact that it was there last year. Even though it was only
there
for
one day. But
True.
I guess people saw the videos online. It takes away from that initial.
Coming in at number 6, also again probably suffering from it being there last year, is The Bride of Frankenstein Lives.
And at number 5, we have Case Files Unearthed, Legendary Truth.
I think collating these lists together, this top 5 was like close. Kind of like everyone had these in their top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. The closer you get to number 1, the harder it is, to be honest. Coming in at number 4, Puppet Theater, Captive Audience.
That makes me happy. That makes me happy that was high up because that looked amazing.
It did indeed.
The highest ranked IP comes in at number 3, and that is Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House.
Solid house.
I hope that how well that's done this year, that we get I can never remember.
Bly Manor.
No, I don't want Bly Manor anymore. No, I want Midnight Mass.
Yes.
I want Midnight Mass all the way. Yes.
Why no both?
I mean, we could have both.
I just finished Bly Manor, so it's very fresh in my mind.
So good.
We'll talk.
And at number 2, HHN Icons Captured. Yeah.
Now, coming in at number 1 is our Gordon Savior. The Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin, featuring Lil Boo.
So to put it into perspective, Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin, and we had about 50 people rank them. So it's a fair cross-section of people. I know we have like thousands of listeners and only 50, but 50 people is a good cross-section because once you get to a certain point, really, that the rankings didn't change. Once it hit about 25, it's pretty much stayed solid. So Icons Captured was at number 2 with 215 points. Wicked Growth was number 1 with 107. It had half as many points as number 2. That's how far ahead of number 2 it was. And for me, that's the one. When they announced that, I was like, that's the one. That's overtook Scarecrow the Reaping as the one that I gutted I never got to experience.
It did overtake Scarecrow the Reaping. But Scarecrow the Reaping was a phenomenal house as well.
Yep. There you go. Thank you everyone for sending your rankings in. It's good to see. But yeah, I think it was very obvious very early on what was going to be number 1.
Yep. Well deserved. Very well deserved.
I haven't seen any
Now
of
bring on
them.
next year.
Yeah.
You're going to throw your rankings in next year, Lee?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's number 1 then. All right. And we're not announcing it here, but we'll be announcing in the Producers Club who won the Beetlejuice giveaway.
Yes. Now everyone knows what the answers were.
Yeah, that's true. All right, cool. That is that's going to wrap up the show. That was a very hefty show today.
It was.
Yes, was not lean whatsoever.
That was fun, though.
It was fun. And now we're going to wrap up the show with Universal Is. And this one comes from Crystal King. Now, all you have to do if you want to be involved is drop us an email to podcast@uuopodcast.com or send via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter what you think Universal is in 3 words or less. And Crystal says, Universal is my new addiction. See you next time.
Guess that wraps things up for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese. See you later.